Hello, my name's David, and this is my video demo for my submission to Bitcamp 2024. My program's called Warden, a facial recognition security system. Basically, what my program does is it uses a camera to periodically take images, and using these images, it will run a facial detection algorithm, or using a machine learning API, and by the time the program is done, we will have multiple different folders, and each folder will have all of the pictures for one person, of one person's face. So everyone will be divvied up into their own folders. So here's my code. I'm using a Google Colab, which is similar to a Jupyter notebook. And this is my main code block right here. So what we can do here, I'll show you my environment first. There's nothing here, there's just sample data. This is nothing. But that's that. All right, so now I'm running my main code block. So now it asks me to enter the duration to run the program. And the thing about Warden is it's a technology that could theoretically be migrated to stuff like security cameras, check-in monitors, stuff like that, where it's just gonna be running for hours and hours, like 24/7 basically. And so obviously for this video demo, I'm going to put a logical time, like 120 seconds is fine. So I'm gonna press enter now. And the first thing we'll notice is that's my face, and it says new face identified, because this was the first time it checked, and the total of faces is now 1. So we've just found my face and it plotted the landmarks on it. And right after it says old face identified. That's because I'm still sitting here and my face has not changed. And so the total number of faces is still 1, right? I'm still being identified. It's not gonna plot it every time. And what you'll notice is it identifies me as face number 0. So my face is face number 0. So just keep that in mind. Here's my webcam up here. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover it like that. Okay, so now it says no faces in frame, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and move over here so I'm not in frame. Don't need to cover it. So what I have over here is well, it's just a video of a man staring, and I'm going to move this webcam in front. So as long as I can hold this properly, do that. Like that. And then I'll do that. Okay, so put it down. No faces in frame now. I think you saw earlier though, we did identify this. I'll show you the output more in a second, but here we go. I can go back into frame and it begins identifying me again. So that's very nice, working pretty well. Yeah, it's actually working really well. And there we go. So program reached the allotted time. So that was 120 seconds. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to take a deeper look into what this output is so I can explain it to you guys. I've already explained this part, right? New face, obviously any face identified would be a new face here because it's the start of the program. Total number of faces is now 1. We can also start the program with a preset number of faces, but you know, that's gonna be up to the user. But yeah, right here, norm calculated, it will calculate the norm, which is here, let me show you a bit of the code for that. It's a Frobenius norm of the difference, and I explained what these are matrices, and I explained them what they are in my dev post. It's a little complicated, so I won't say it here. But basically, if this is high enough, that means the distance from one matrix to the other is large enough. And that means that it would be considered a different face. But it's not high enough here, so it identifies me. And then this is when I cover the webcam right here. And then I move it in front of my other monitor right here. And it plots new landmarks. And now we'll see the norm calculated for this one is significantly higher by like a margin of like 10, scale of 10. And now, because there are two faces in the system now, we compare against both of them. So now we have a comparison against 28 and 4. So 4 is the second picture, that's the lowest, and it passes the threshold. This one's much higher, right? That's for face 1. If both of them are high, it'll just make another face. But obviously that is the second face, so it identifies as face number 1. So remember, my face was face number 0. So this one's now face number 1. So total number of faces is now 2. And this is when I put it back on the table, and then this is when I sat back down. So obviously we can see that it identified me as face number 0. And you can see the norm is much lower for mine. Wow, this one's very low. But yeah, we can see that. And that's just me sitting there, and then the program got to the lot of time. All right, last part, which is what I think is the coolest part, best part, would be just the information that it gets us. And so you'll see in my environment now, before we did not have face 0 and face 1, but if you recall, face 0 is me. So the first time it ever sees a face, it will name, I made it so it names it in it, and this is the timestamp from the start of the program. 0 point, it's that. Okay, so take a look here. That's the first image. Let me make this bigger. Yeah, so this is the first image. It's the first image of me. I think you probably remember that one. We can open. It's not exactly ordered, or it is ordered, but it doesn't take into account that the decimal's not, let's take a look at 11. So this was a few seconds after. Let's go to 119. This is gonna be a while after. So yeah, still identifies me as the same person there. You can see, it doesn't really, I normalize the landmarks, so no matter where I am and no matter how close I am, it's fine. I explain it in my dev post. I recommend looking at it. But yeah, I have every single picture now. Collab does delete these at runtime, so do not worry if I caught anyone when I was working in the armory. They are gone. Okay, so this is the first picture for face 1 now. We're in face 1. There it is. Wow. And we can take a look at this one. Yep. And let's go to this one, for example. You can see I'm kind of like tilting it, moving it around. I mean, I was holding it with one hand, so it's gonna be a little wobbly, but it's still able to identify them. So now, after our program is run, we have a lot of data on 2 different people, and it's been labeled properly. So you could theoretically even use this as something to train another model with, just to tell differences, right? Be able to tell this guy's face 0, the other guy's face 1, stuff like that, because it's already labeled here. So yeah, that's pretty much my code for this Bitcamp 2024. There are some improvements I can make to it, and I actually am pretty passionate about this project, so maybe I will implement those changes. But here's my dev post. right here. I'll be uploading this video shortly, and yeah, great.